So I was going to publish part two of my Ed and Eddie review, but I decided to recode directly to YouTube, and it uploaded 100% of the video, but then it didn't even process. It's like unable to process, and that annoyed me. But instead of redoing part two, because now I really have to think about it, I've decided I'm just going to show a Halloween story from my past, and because I'm sure there are some people out there, particularly children, who are going through this or have gone through this at some point. But this involves my 13th Halloween. Ironically, it's my 13th Halloween I'm talking about for this subject matter, because, number 13, it's supposed to be unlucky. It's like Friday the 13th, kind of like synonymous with October 31st almost. But yeah, so when I was 13, Halloween time was coming, and I was excited and all that. But over the course of the past year, I had undergone something, and that little process I had undergone is a little process called puberty. And all the stuff that I had held dear to my heart before puberty struck me, I I lost interest in it, at least temporarily. Like, even Halloween, I lost interest in it. Like, the only thing I could really keep my mind on were two things, basically, and that was video games, number one, and number two, of course, was girls. And so I didn't realize it, but yeah, I had lost interest in a lot of the things I liked, and I I didn't realize it until Halloween time came around, and I was living with my grandparents at the time, who were usually taking care of me when my mom wasn't around because she had to work, and so uh, they would always call me in every year, like, "Hey, get in here! History of Halloween on the History Channel's coming on." And in years past, I would be right on that, just like, "Okay, I'll be right there," and I would run into, I'd use the bathroom, get some popcorn and soda, and run in there and watch it with them for the entire hour. But this year, like, or at least my 13th year, my grandparents would call me and be like, "Oh, hey, this Halloween special is coming on. You should watch it." And I'm just like, "No, I'm alright." And that was at least the side of me that was actually coming out. But on the inside, I was going through I had double personalities, so to speak, because on the inside, I was like, why am I saying no? I love Halloween. Why would I say no? Like, all because of video games and girls? No. Like, I want to watch this Halloween stuff. And eventually I decided, no, I love Halloween. I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest and watch every special I can. So I would force myself to sit down and watch Halloween specials. And like that particular year, I think it was 2007, Cartoon Network was playing all the Goosebumps episode. And I was trying my best to watch them, but I was just losing interest like halfway throughout every episode. And this happened every night, and it wasn't just with Goosebumps, it was with like every Halloween special that I had loved before, and I didn't know what was really going on. And I was starting to freak myself out because I had heard all these stories about how your mindset changes as you get older, And now that I'm older, I understand exactly what that means. Like, because you experience life, like the things you experience changes your mindset. Your mindset doesn't just magically change. But back then, I thought that's how it worked, and I thought my mindset had magically changed from Halloween to anything else but. And I didn't know what to do. I know, like, it doesn't sound like that big a deal, but for someone who loved Halloween as much as I do, I like it was like the end of the world, at least for the month of October for me. And one Goosebumps episode I watched in particular, it was called The Haunted Mask Part 2, I think, or The Haunted Mask 2, whichever. And the main storyline revolved around the bully from the first Haunted Mask. He always loved Halloween, and he was turning 13, the same age I was. And he was talking all this stuff about losing interest in Halloween, and that he wouldn't be able to celebrate it much afterwards. Like, he wouldn't care about it as much afterwards. I think he was going through the same thing I was, thinking his mindset would magically change. And so he would try everything he could in his power to enjoy that Halloween, because he actually legitimately thought it was going to be the last Halloween he actually cared about. And I'm watching it, and I actually did not lose interest in that episode because that kid was going through the same thing I was at the same age. And I was like, this is it. I'm watching a parody of what I'm going through, and just like this kid, I'm going to lose interest in my favorite holiday. And, it doesn't help that as you grow up, certain festivities on a bunch of holidays, not just Halloween, but say Easter, like you can't hunt for Easter eggs or participate in that unless like you're helping a kid. It's like that's like the same thing for trick or treating on Halloween, because I was only 13. I was like, I'm only 13. I'm still gonna trick or treat when I'm 30. So who cares? Which I trick or treated last year, and I'm in my 20s, so I guess I'm living up to my promise there. But yeah, people are always saying, "Oh, you're too old for trick or treating." And basically you're getting too old for Halloween, like grow up. And the funny thing about that is, like, because I celebrate Christmas, no one ever says anything about Christmas. So like they're like, oh, you're too old to do this on Easter, you're too old to do this on Halloween. But then you get to Christmas, and like all this kiddie stuff you do on Christmas, like you wake up early, you run to the tree or the stockings, and you see your presents, and you're like, yes! Oh man, I feel like a kid again! Oh, happiest day of my life until next Christmas! And like, so it's okay to do that on Christmas, because hey, who doesn't like getting presents? But like, you can be a kid on Christmas, you just can't be a kid on Halloween. Basically, that's what it feels like. And so it didn't help my dilemma that I was like, all these people would say, oh, you're getting too old to trick or treat, you're getting too old for Halloween, essentially, and just grow up. And all these factors together, they were scaring me to not, like, I legitimately thought once October 31st, 2007 ended, I would no longer love Halloween. And so I basically gave up. I accepted the fact, like, yeah, this is the last hurrah for my love for Halloween. But you know what? Damn it. I am going out swinging. I am going to live life to the fullest on this Halloween. And I'm going to trick or treat. I'm going to scare people. I'm going to do whatever it takes to say screw you to everyone who said that I was getting too old, or who helped influence my lessening love for Halloween. here's the kicker though. Nothing went right on that Halloween. Like, I tried trick or treating. I kind of got tired of it after like an hour, and I was a vampire, so I had the vampire fangs in my mouth, and they were starting to make my jaw hurt. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit in now. And like as I'm ending my trick or treating session, I see this little kid. I think he was just like a pumpkin, and he's like 3 years old. It's his first time legitimately celebrating Halloween, like not in the arms of his mother, but at least being held in her hand, like holding her hand, and they're walking around going trick or treating, and like these people, they put like those little pumpkin bags and tied them to the tree, and he would see it, and after all the candy he got that night, he would jump up and down for joy, and he'd be like, "Candy in the tree! Candy in the tree! Candy in the tree!" And I'm just like, man, to think I was once that excited for this holiday. Enjoy it, kid, because it really is not going to last. And I'm just like, it's okay. It's alright. You've still got a bunch of candy. You're still at your friends/relatives. You're having a Halloween party. Go out and scare people. Just run around and scare people as much as you can. Squeeze every last drop of love of Halloween you can out of your heart. And so I tried to scare people, but no one got afraid. They would not scream. I would jump out at them and they'd be like, "Ha ha ha, yeah, nice try, kid." And these were kids. Like, I was scaring kids my like younger than me, and they would just look at me and be like, "Ah ha ha ha, oh, you suck." And I'm just like, okay, one major push to salvage what's left of my love for it. And so I hid behind a gate. I saw a man, his wife, I think it was his wife, and there were two little kids. I'm like, I'm scaring them. I don't care if it's little kids. I'm scaring them. I'm doing this for me. And I get ready to jump out at them. And then out of nowhere, someone starts shooting off fireworks. Right as I'm about to jump out. Like, they started to pass me. I'm just like, yes! And then fireworks go off in the sky. And it distracts them to look up there instead of at me. And they're just like, ooh, fireworks, look at that. And I just give up. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, who the hell shoots off fireworks on Halloween? You don't have fireworks on Halloween. Halloween is for fireworks are for New Year's. Fireworks are for 4th of July in America. And what other holidays around the world do fireworks, but not Halloween? Who the hell shoots off fireworks on Halloween? And that was basically the nail in the coffin, no pun intended. Just like, okay, I give up, universe. You did it. You took everything about what I loved of Halloween, and you took my heart, essentially. You threw it as hard as you could on the pavement, and then you stomped on it 1,000 times. You stabbed it 1,000 times, and then you tried to walk away, but then you ended up being like that scene from Office Space and came back and started stomping on it some more, and then you gave it back to me when it was basically flat. And yeah, I just gave up. I went to bed that night. November 1st came, and when I woke up, I was more depressed than I ever had been on November 1st. And I was like, that's it. So long forever, Halloween. But then the next year came, and I guess I had a better hold on puberty and the feelings I had, because it wasn't the greatest Halloween ever for me, but I had fun. Like, I still trick-or-treated, I had fun. It was much better than the year before. And I just celebrated. Like, I didn't really think hard about it. I just celebrated Halloween, like, nonchalantly. And then when I woke up on November 1st, that very next year, I'm like, hey, I just had fun on Halloween again, and I wasn't even trying. And then the next year came, and number 15, if you've seen my other videos, was actually my best Halloween ever. Like, I had a really awesome werewolf costume. I, like, trick-or-treated, and, like, all around my neighborhood and in some other neighborhoods. I got so many pieces of candy that, like, my bag ripped open, and it all fell on some unfortunate woman's doorstep. And she's like, here, let me bring you a plastic bag. And then, it's a good sign whenever that happens. That means you got so much candy. And then I met a bunch of girls, again, puberty. I met a bunch of girls in cute fairy princess costumes. Let me clarify, they were all my age, and they all knew me. And they thought my costume was awesome, and they thought I was awesome for it. So, bottom line is, if you're going through this, don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Your mindset's not going to magically change. Your love for Halloween will be there. It will be there come next year, or maybe even this year. You just gotta not think about it and nonchalantly and automatically love your Halloween.